See, somebody like Jack Phillips, Masterpiece Cake Shop owner, said he'd rather go to jail than make a gay wedding cake.
Really?
Is that true?
The Colorado baker, who was ordered to serve gay couples by a state judge said he'd rather go to jail than prepare a same-sex wedding cake. I do what I do because I love what I'm doing, and I do what I do because I love doing what I do, and I believe it's what God designed for me to do.
Do's
Say that fucking. That's more I do's than the actual wedding.
Wait a minute, so by law he has to make the cake?
I don't know. I don't plan on giving up my religious beliefs. I don't feel that I should participate in their wedding, and when I do a cake, I feel like I'm participating in the ceremony or the event or the celebration that cake is for.
Do you, quick, I'm sorry, do you agree with that? Do you agree that the state should be able to force him to have to make a cake for the couple?
No
like
way.
If he's gone out and said these things, really hurting his business, why wouldn't the gay couple just be like, we don't want his cake, man. We don't want to eat his cake.
The fuck knows what's going to be in it?
He's going to spin the cake, right?
You don't know that. But why would you even want to? Why would you even want to pay this man to make your cake
back? Let alone like if he's forced to make my gay wedding
like
cake.
you went and got a court to order this man to make your cake.
Right.
That's crazy.
Administrative law judge Robert N. Spencer ruled December 6th that Masterpiece Cake Shop will face fines if he continues to turn away same-sex couples who want to buy wedding cakes.
Well, you know what?
I guess that's like they can serve whoever they want.
You know how like when girls have their parties before they get married? What are they called?
Like a bachelorette party?
And don't they make cakes that look like giant dicks?
Sure.
Maybe that's what he was forced to do. 2 dicks instead of 1.
Because gay people get married.
He's like, this is too much.
A dick with a top hat and a dick with a veil. And that. You know what? That is kind of repulsive.
No, he's going to have to make them for Mike and Ming and tell him Steve Dave Town.
Oh, man.
Well, like, what is a gay cake? Was there 2 grooms on it?
Maybe that's the only difference.
Could you imagine being that upset? You're like,
I guess like
turning away business because you got to put 2 little groomsmen on instead of a bride and a groom.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's really being.
Well, I mean, if you're super religious,
which it appears.
I could see it.
I do what I do because I am. I want to say this again. I do what I do because I love doing what I do, and I believe it's what God designed for me to do.
Not a deuce.
What? I mean, if I walked into a store and I asked for something, and the proprietor was like, "I'm not going to give it to you because you're whatever Irish, whatever, blah blah blah," I would not be like, "I'm going to force that guy to do or make or ever service me. I'm going to go your competitor, and I'm going to bad talk you, and I'm going to make sure that everyone knows that you're a dick because you wouldn't make me my dick cake."
Right.
And
I just wanted 2 top hats on the dicks. That's all I wanted.
two top hats, 2 little bow ties, 2 little canes. Well, now it looks like Mr. Peanut.
2 monocles.
But really, though, why would you just waste your time, like not just going to another bakery and getting what you want done?
I mean, I guess there's a party that's just like, fuck this fucking guy. Fuck him.
But it's still America.
Let's expose him. Let's let everybody see. Let's let everybody see what this guy's all fucking about. So some people will be sympathetic.
Expose him.
Sure.
But don't force him to make the cake, though.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Well,
expose him and hurt his business, but don't force him to make your cake because who wants to eat that cake anyway?
Yeah, I hear you, but the best way to expose him is by getting exposure like this.
Yes.
That's probably what they were doing. Like, now everybody knows this guy's
now he has to either go to jail or bake the dick cakes. That's so weird.
Or donate the dick cakes to a food bank or something.
The homeless people are like, I mean, I got the pee hole. Well, I got the balls, so consider yourself lucky. But I guess it would be like if he were like, hey, a black and a white person came in. Well, I don't believe in interracial marriage, so I'm not going to make you a cake.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you draw the line.
I guess it's different. I mean,
like, these people have to get it through their fucking heads. It's a rights issue. The days of being able to fucking pick and choose that shit are done. It's a fucking civil rights issue. It's not a religious issue. These are American citizens making fucking choices that they legally have a right to. That's it. Fucking.
But you cannot go in and demand a vulgar cake.
You made that up. You don't know that they made a fucking vulgar cake.
Come on. You know what it was.
I don't know what it was. What are you talking about?
Let's assume so.
I mean, let's assume so. Yes. Then that's it.
Can he say no to that, Q?
I think he can.
If he was like
that.
2 dick cakes, no.
I
I have a right to say no to that.
I think so. Yeah.
2 groomsmen on a cake. You can't say no to that, right?
I don't think you can say no to that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, a vagina and a dick cake, you could probably say no to.
I would say no to that,
It's about genitalia, not about sexuality.
He's
Right.
like, now I basically am the dick cake guy. Everyone's coming to me because they know I got to do it. 30 dick cakes
I'm going to go to jail or I got to bake a dick cake. I'll be baking a dick in my ass if I go to jail. It's like, there's no way to win. Should just close your mouth and just accepted the money and made the cakes.
That's it. That's
right?
it.
I mean, man.
What does Kevin say? He hears, like, I guess, like Carol or Ming or somebody call him and they're like, Walt's had a religious turn recently. Same-sex couple came in. He wouldn't sell comics to him.
Oh. I mean, you can't, like Q said, man, it's not, and you can't do that stuff and expect not to have a major fallout.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Right.
But it is strange though that like you still want to have that man make your cake at your wedding.
Not in a million years. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You expose him. You're like, hey, this asshole wouldn't make the cake, and then you move on to somebody who's a little bit
right. Unless you have some, like I said, some sort of symbolic thing where you crush you trash the cake or you use that cake as a.
Just he had to make it. He's like, God damn it.
And then you just never pick it up.
Yeah. You know what I don't understand though? There's a thing that was going on in California. Transgendered kids. Now, these are little kids, like a 6-year-old, and they're fighting for the right for this 6-year-old to use. I think it's a boy,
Rolling Stone,
and was going to use the girls' restroom.
They had a pretty long article.
They identify as a girl. Now, right off the top of my head, I'm like, look, now it's going too far. It's a boy. Use the boys' restroom.
Right.
That's it.
The article again, this is not my opinion on it. I'm just telling you the article.
Liberal Johnny.
That's
coming out again.
I mean, you brought it up. I'm just telling you that their position on it that I read was like that. There's basically 2 ways to look at it. One of it is that okay, so this particular kid that you're talking about was like, I'm a girl, like I know I am. I'm in the wrong body. Whatever, that's a tortured existence. Nobody even fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that's got to be hell. But what they're saying is, like, if you, right now, the model is to do what you're saying, which is, like, you're not you're a boy. And then they go through their lives feeling all fucked up and out of sorts. And then when they get older, they do this surgery and reverse it.
The reassignment.
And they're fucked. They're just fucked because you can't catch up with science, you can't catch up with biology at that point. What they're saying is just like, if society as a whole, and I'm not saying I feel this way, this was just the thrust of the article, said that if you start accepting this early on with these kids, and give them a life of acceptance and wean them into that slowly as it is, like you'll actually be making the quality of their life better. You know what I mean?
At the expense of a bunch of little girls who are like, why is there a boy in the bathroom with us?
Well, they were saying that they weren't. They were dressing this particular.
Is it time for a third bathroom?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, they have like handicap bathrooms right now in the mall, right? Where it's like,
Q, you just got
H word.
No, the handicap bathrooms are gender neutral. If you have a wheelchair, you go in and use it.
Can I ask you guys a question? Made me think of this. How old were you when you stopped going into the ladies' room with your mom?
I actually don't have a single memory of ever going to the ladies' room with my mom.
Really?
I'm sure it happened. I'm not saying it didn't. I'm like, that's how young it was. I just don't even remember it.
Yeah, I thought of that with, I went to Cheeseburger with Sage recently, and sometimes she wants to go in by herself, and then sometimes she wants me to go with her. Now she's 7. So 7.
They don't have, they only have one bathroom.
Cheeseburger?
Yeah.
No, they have 2.
They do?
You're like, I've been using the women's bathroom. Oh. Yeah, no, they have 2. So sometimes she'll want.
You're still supporting that organization after the Betty Poop pants, huh?
But I haven't gone there since that day, actually. Not by any sort of stand, but yeah, I haven't been there since.
Covered in panties.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you recall?
For me,
how old were you probably when your mom still let you go into the Ben's room by yourself?
Earlier today. We went to the mall. I like you, Q. I don't really have any memories of. I would have to imagine it was like 5-ish, probably.
I can remember.
Oh yeah, when was it?
Like I said, I can remember being in the women's room.
Mm-hmm.
And, seeing the ladies come out. Some ladies not closing the door.
Ooh, Bush.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nice.
A lot of girdles back in the 70s.
Girdle Bush.
A lot of pantyhose and girdles. So not much else you could see other than like
fish belly white skin and shit.
Why you say that?
They're old ladies, right? You're saying?
Not old ladies. I mean, I think young women wore girdles back then too.
Really?
Yeah. For their shapes.
I should get a girdle.
They have Spanx now.
I'm in the women's room in the mall wearing a girdle, identifying as a woman. I'm like,
I like to order a dick cake.
I'm telling the bathroom attendant.
And if you don't make it for me, I'm going to bring you up on charges.
Yeah, I'll bring this whole corporation down. J.C. Penney, all the three of you.
And also, bringing up naughty pastries. I can remember seeing on a popsicle stick a headless woman and a armless, just a torso of tits.
I'm getting hard.
And people would eat that in the Route 18.
Wait.
Mall.
Get out of here,
I'm not
really?
picturing this right.
Yeah.
It was on a stick.
It was on a stick.
Right.
And it was a headless woman.
Right.
It was just like below.
Did
right
they have
below
gumballs for nipples?
No, it was like a treat. It was like a cake thing, and they would sell it in a glass display of all these treats. And they had right out in the open. They sell these tits that people would eat.
Okay.
Wow.
And I can remember being definitely like.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely being
I just had sex.
definitely knowing that I shouldn't be looking at this pastry, and but not being able to turn away from it either. Though. Felt like guilty.
When do you think the day happened that they were like, "Hey, dude, no more, no more of this really offensive, sexist, weird pastry shit."
I think it's still sold.
You think they still sell?
Not in
the place is closed, right?
Yeah, but I bet you that kind of like treat. It sold at
Let me check it out.
like the naughty cake stores.
The naughty cake stores.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was just like no arms. It was just like this to here, and it was just the tits, and you would eat the tits.
Why do you think you had so much sexual shame when you were young? It's that the monkeys thing in the bathtub. Remember you said it would.
Yeah. It has to be just never really seeing anything. Because you don't have cable that early. You aren't exposed. You don't really see the human body. I mean, I guess legitimately, it may have been the very first breasts I ever saw were a pastry.
And somebody's like, I remember being in, it was called Mountain Hill Preschool, and I was 4, and they had a pool there, and it was the classroom. Like the students, it was probably about 15, and once a week we would go in the pool. And I started telling my mom that I didn't like to swim. I didn't like the pool because everyone would get changed in front of each other.
Oh.
And I remember being really weirded out by all those nude kids.
and girls and boys changed in front. That's so bizarre.
Not a million years could you do that today.
No.
I'm not finding it.
Not finding it? I mean, I swear, Q.
I remember. I've seen it too in my day.
I've seen it, and I can remember being like, definitely a stirring of like shame.
That was your first story?
Of shame, no, not like where I was turned on. I was just like, it's just weird. It just weirded me out. It definitely made me feel like you see Pluto, you see a Mickey Mouse chocolate pop, and all of a sudden you see tits.
No head. Decapitated tits.
You know, it definitely made me feel weird, and definitely made me, maybe that's for the psychoanalysts out there.
Yeah. I'll give them this too. I think I talked about this once, but going canoeing with my parents this is before my brothers were born, and it was on the Delaware, and there was it was the early 70s, so I was probably 6 or 7, and there was like a nudist colony, a bunch of naked people like on the side, like on the banks, like sunning themselves. And I remember my mother being very like, look away, don't look at them, like as if seeing naked bodies, I was gonna fucking like explode.
Turn to salt.
Yeah, really. Because I don't think like if I'm canoeing down the Delaware with Sage, it would not occur to me to be like, turn away. I think if she were like, what's that?